Hello again. I've been looking at a new book about Mary Seacole, which the author apparently spent 20 years researching for. It certainly gives a great deal of detail about Seacole's early life, but then is badly let down by some of the waffle about her later achievements. There is a long piece about it, written by the author herself, in the latest issue of the BBC History magazine. Of course, being the BBC, it makes me slightly suspicious to begin with of what I find there. I read the article with great interest, but found some of what was said was so weird that I ended up shaking my head in disbelief. We read, for instance, that, where are we now? Such was her fame across the Crimean Peninsula as a doctress for cholera and diarrhea, whose holistic remedies proved far more effective than conventional treatments, that sick soldiers beat a path to her door in preference to consulting the army doctors. And then too we have this. Duh, duh, duh. In other words, Seacole's brand of nursing was a form of mothering, of comforting the sick and wounded in the absence of their own wives and mothers, complemented with her natural, holistic remedies. Now, we are forced to ask whether the woman who wrote this actually knows what she means when she talks of holistic and natural medicine. Holistic medicine means treating the whole person individually, that is to say, devising very special regimens for people depending upon their personality, their general well-being. This is not at all what Mary Seacole did. She had a stock of folk remedies which she thought could be used for most patients. Helen Rappaport, the author, says that these were natural remedies, but of course, natural does not necessarily mean wholesome or good. Cyanide, arsenic, and uranium are all naturally occurring substances, but they're not really good for us. Let's look at the kind of holistic and natural remedies which Mary Seacole used. In the description to this video, I give a link to an online copy of Mary Seacole's autobiography, and on page 31 we read of how she treated cholera when living in Central America. The simplest remedies were perhaps the best: mustard plasters and emetics, and calomel, the mercury applied externally where the veins were nearest the surface, were my usual resources. Emetics, which is a term meaning a substance that makes somebody vomit, is the worst possible thing to do during cholera, because the main danger during cholera anyway is dehydration. Making people throw up will just hasten their death. As for applying mercury to the skin near the veins where it can be absorbed, this is a shocking idea. Mercury is very poisonous. Then we have this. One stubborn attack succumbed to an additional dose of 10 grains of sugar of lead, mixed in a pint of water, given in doses of a tablespoonful every quarter of an hour. Sugar of lead, or lead acetate, is very poisonous. If this is what the author of the new biography means by holistic and natural remedies, then Lord help us all. Does Helen Rappaport really think that making people vomit and giving them a solution of lead to drink would be more effective than the conventional remedies offered in hospitals at that time? It really wouldn't be. We have the usual nonsense about Seacole as well, saying that receiving news of the outbreak of the Crimean War in 1854, Seacole sailed to England to offer services to the British Army, declined by officials, travelled at her expense to Crimea. Not a word, you note, about the real reason for visiting London, which was to float the gold mine in which she had invested heavily on the London Stock Exchange. This new biography may look on the face of it like a daring re-examination of Seacole's life, but it still trots out the same tired old myths. Holistic and natural remedies, indeed. Lord